Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Taylor and this is Benter's Bookshelf. So, just kind of a crazy Friday here, but it is Horrorathon, and this is a 24-hour readathon where we're reading as much horror as we can. I will leave the host's information in the description box for you. And yeah, it is just about time for the kickoff sprints. And I'm really excited to get started. I've got quite a large mood TBR for this. Lots of horror novellas. I've got a couple horror graphic novels. So we'll just see what I end up getting to, but I'm really excited. Quite a few of these are on my besties bingo favorite horror books. A group of my friends and we all submitted our favorite horror books and created this bingo board for others to read our favorites. And it's been really fun so far. So I'm excited to get to more of those. And yeah, like I said, sprints are starting here in just a little bit over on, I believe, Ashley's channel. I will have to figure out what I'm going to start with. Without further ado, Horrorathon 2024. Okay, so I've got my coffee in my, I don't know if you can see that, my black spiderweb mug here. And I have decided to start with Our Wives Under the Sea. This is one that is on the Besties Horror Bingo. So excited about that. It is also one that one of my favorite booktubers, Kayla from Books and Lala, has really enjoyed and has included in favorites before. So that makes me super excited because we do tend to gravitate towards the same books and stuff. Our reading tastes align really well. So I'm excited to get on with that, and I'll be back with an update when I've gotten a little bit into it. I have the audiobook. I'll have to see what the narration, what speed I'll have it at. Usually I'm right around 2 times speed with my audiobooks. And depending on that is how long it'll take me. I believe it's like a 6-hour audiobook at normal speed. So I should be able to get through it in right around 3 hours if I'm able to do my normal speed.
Hello everybody, watching the playback right now or getting acclimated as it will eventually catch up since everything's a little bit delayed for us. But welcome to round 9-ish, I think, somewhere around that, for a 24-hour Horrorathon. Tonight we're joined by our co-host, Lexi. Very excited to have a co-host again this round because sometimes I do this by myself and it's always more fun.
Jack and Jill by Keeler and Patrick Bird. This one called Antioch. I think it's something to do with a serial killer. And then Standalone, which I think is a slasher sci-fi.
Okay. Oof, my lighting's horrible. Hang on. That's a bit better. Okay, so first impression on Our Wives Under the Sea. I'm about 35% into it, and it just started to have some horror elements. This is definitely a literary horror, I would categorize it as. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on it before, so it is sapphic, and it's got imposter vibes mixed with creature from the deep kind of vibes. So basically we are following this couple, and one of the women in this couple goes out on a journey in the sea and comes back, but she comes back different. And that's kind of what I mean with like the imposter vibes. And yeah, I don't really have any other thoughts at the moment. I'm thinking this is going to be another book like with Monstrilio, where I don't really have an opinion until the end. That's typically how it goes for me with literary horror, is I don't really understand, or I don't really have a full-fledged thought until the end and like everything has clicked into place. I don't know if I'm going to have another update for you until I finish this book, but I'm going to get back to it, and yeah, on with the reading. Okay, so I've finished Our Wives Under the Sea, and I'm underwhelmed. It wasn't a bad book. There were a couple horror elements. There was definitely a strong theme of grief, but also it took the theme of grief to grieving someone who's not technically gone yet. Kind of in the vein of how, like with my mom, she had Alzheimer's. So we grieved her loss as she was losing her memories and ability to communicate prior to her death. That theme was very strong in this. But it didn't feel much like horror to me, to be honest. But like I said, it wasn't a bad book. I'm going to give it 3.25 stars. I definitely recommend for people who like literary books and who like to read books with a theme of grief. Good morning. So, my insomniac ass could not fall asleep as I was laying in bed last night, so I pulled out my headphones and I ended up listening to the entirety of Comfort Me with Apples. So this is a novella, and I'm trying to figure out how to talk about this without spoilers. Okay, so it starts in Arcadia Gardens, which is this like planned, gated community that boasts its perfection. And the HOA has a like super strict contract and a whole host of rules that you have to follow to continue to live in the community. If you break any single rule, even just once, you are ousted. You have broken the contract, and you can no longer live there. So we open with our character Sophia, who is married and is doing all of the perfect like housewife things. She goes and chats with the other ladies in the community who are all quite a bit older than she is. And then things start to happen. She starts to find things in her home that don't belong to her, and she starts to find some pretty gruesome things in her home and starts to question her husband. Now,
I'm going to get a little bit spoilery here, so I'm going to put a warning and timestamps down in the description. Okay, so spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Here we go. This started out as like Stepford Wives-ish, which I love Stepford Wives. And by the time I got to the end, there is a plot twist that I did not see coming that made it for me. And this is an Adam and Eve retelling, kind of. So this is like pre-Eve. So Sophia was made for her husband, who is Adam, by God. And she is just one iteration of a wife in a long line of wives that have been made for him that haven't worked out. And we find at the end that she is disposed of, and his next wife is Eve. So this is Adam and Eve, but pre-Eve, and I absolutely loved that. I love anything twist on biblical lore. It's, oh my gosh. So this is the like end of the spoilers here. So my rating, 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I thought the writing was great. I loved the character of Sophia. I loved how her mind worked as she was working through the different things she was finding and the clues as to what was going on. I loved the different lore representations, and even though it was super short, like the audiobook was only 2 hours and 20 minutes, which at my speed I listen at double speed most of the time, so it took me like an hour. Even though it was short, it packed a punch, and yeah, loved it. Okay, so sprints are about to start on Lexi's channel, Books with Lexi. So I'm just going to give like a brief update here. I did start Everything the Darkness Eats last night, and I'm like 2 chapters into it. I am enjoying it so far. We've got 2 older characters, one like middle age-ish, and then one slightly older. I don't really know what to expect, other than I've been told to buckle up because it's Eric LaRocca. This is my first Eric LaRocca, so it's going to be an experience, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm going to continue on with Everything the Darkness Eats for the sprints, and I'll come back in a bit with an update for you.
Hello everybody, welcome to some reading sprints for 24-hour Horrorathon. Ashley is joining a little bit later, but I'm trying to read as much as I can, so I figured I would start sprints now.
So I'm still on sprints with Lexi and Ashley. I've got them up on my TV right now, and I have been uploading footage to start editing. And I've been listening to Everything the Darkness Eats. I'm 50% through, and I'm bored. So I'm gonna DNF and move on to the next, because it's just not interesting to me, unfortunately, and I just don't really have any desire to continue on with the second half of the book. starting Carmilla, not Camilla, not Queen Consort of England. I'm starting Carmilla, and I'm really excited for this because I know it's super old and it predates Dracula. So I'm really, really, really interested to see what the writing is like. I'm interested to see what the vampire elements are like. I'm going to get started with that audiobook while I am importing footage into my editing software to work on my last Readathon vlog. I'm editing my January vlog, which will be up before this vlog is. So I'll link it if you haven't seen that one. So yeah, gonna start listening to that one, continue on with sprints, and work on some editing. Just finished Carmilla, and I really enjoyed it. So we are following this father and daughter who live in like a semi-rundown castle of sorts, and they get this mysterious house guest that calls herself Carmilla, and Carmilla had a vision of Laura, the daughter, and Laura had a vision of Carmilla prior to them meeting. This is obviously a vampire novel, or novella, short story, whatever you want to call it. So I don't think it's really a spoiler to say that during these visions there is a sensation of 2 needles being felt basically right at the collarbone area by one of these young ladies. I will not say who, but you can probably guess. It was a traditional vampire story. I don't have a whole lot else to say. It was all very much, undead, sleeps in a coffin, stake them, behead them, set them on fire to kill them, whatever, it's a very, very traditional vampire story. There was some really good writing. There was a play on names, like anagrams in there. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't anything I would say like super scary, super horrific, but it does fit in the horror genre, I would say. And it was just a very timeless piece to read. So, I don't think I said my rating yet. I'm giving it 4.25 stars. And yeah, it was good. just finished chapter 2 in Something is Killing the Children. And so far it's pretty dang ominous. There is evidence of monsters. There's monster hunting. There's children dead. There's children missing. And yeah, that's about it so far. I'm going to keep reading, and I'm already almost halfway through this, so I probably won't update again until I finish. Okay, so I finished it. I think I'm starting to figure out that I like more spooky graphic novels versus true horror graphic novels. I will say the story in this one was better than the last horror graphic novel that I read. I'm just not really digging the art style very much. But the story was decent, so I am going to give it a 3. And I am going to end this 24-hour Horrorathon with that. I feel really good about the books that I've read. I finished, what was Our Wives Under the Sea, Comfort Me with Apples, Carmilla, and Something is Killing the Children are the ones that I finished. And then I DNF'd Everything the Darkness Eats at 50%. So I read 4.5 books over this last 24 hours. So I'm happy with that. And I had a lot of fun in the sprints and in the chat for this readathon. And I'm excited to participate the next time it comes around. This is my first time doing this readathon, and I think I saw that it happens 2 or 3 times a year. So I am definitely looking forward to participating again. It was nice to do a short readathon for a change of pace, because I've been doing longer ones recently. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have another short readathon that I'm participating in at the end of February, so you have that vlog to look forward to. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!